Let me just jerk off my hair real quick. Boom! Like, they casually established, hey, the power imbalance was so crazy, there was just stalemates with 4 people. Anyway, here's our boy gonna cut them down like nothing. Cursed spirits can be players? Oh. That's deeply unfortunate. Get out of here, bitch. Ugh. I didn't realize he was gonna get a facial this week, but here we are. Where's our girl? Honey! Oh. I wasn't expecting us to fucking make out to win, but you know what? When in Rome. Listen, if I can deal with a naval laser from My Hero Academia, I can deal with a fucking hair laser, okay? Yo, this is the craziest fucking shit. Oh. Oh, yes. That's what I've been waiting for. I'm gonna jerk it. I'll win, I swear. That's about all he has to offer right now. Alright, that's pretty cool. Yo, a triple domain expansion? Let me just jerk the hair real quick and boom, you're dead. I love how this whole episode's been beautiful, but this is like the first time it actually feels beautiful without being disgusting. As normally it's like beautifully disgusting because of the shit happening and monstrosities. With these two going at it with all the colors, just stunning. First time in his life he's ever felt full. Holy shit. Just like my homeboy right here. I am full. Honestly surprised this episode's even real. Did we just somehow end up in the spiritual successor to the JJK Zero movie? I think so. No idea how they pulled this off for a TV anime, but I'm fucking beautiful. Of course, those are some of the highlights from the full live reaction. Catch the full one over on Patreon, but let's jump into it because JJK has ended part 1 of the Culling Games. And throughout this season, I've been saying this with a few different shows, it's absolutely insane that they cooked. Not only with just this show, but the numerous of high-profile, action-dominated shows. And yes, JJK Culling Game Part 1. 25% of it, the first little intro, slower. Still great content. I remember that dialogue episode with the rules? I highlighted how good that episode was and how it exposed the monkey brain viewers of this series. But you can't deny the other 75% of just pretty much balls to the walls crazy animation with some of the funniest powers ever, made for some of the most entertaining fights in modern battle shonen. Listen, it's easy to forget how much of an absolute boss Yuta is as a character, and when you end the last episode with him pretty much just slapping his dick on the table, like they ended the last episode saying, hey, here's these like 4 great powers, these pillars. They're so big dick that they decided to just kind of have a standstill. Insert my boy immediately starts cutting him down. Now, did it go effortlessly? No. But he still reminded us that he is indeed him. And it's easy to forget because JJK Zero, I mean, I've probably seen it more recently than a lot of people watching this. But it doesn't change the fact that it's easy to forget just how fucking crazy my boy is. And that 5-minute timer, I mean, we're doing the craziest shit this season. We go from a man half-dressed who apparently has abilities that would make even Gojo say, "the fuck." If we got a receipt for a Mona Lisa that's the size of the Empire State Building, that shit's gonna come tumbling down. The powers are so fucking cool, and when you have as many characters, like we start off fighting a cockroach that we decide to tongue kiss, and then we escalate into a very hot naked babe who can turn the sky into a surface. Not gonna lie though, I was quite often hoping things were gonna slip with that surface outfit she was wearing, if you catch my drift. It was just a very fun episode. At its core, you could just not really pay attention and just have a fun time watching universe level energy blasts go off and cockroaches coming back from the dead because those bitches just refuse to stay dead. You got JoJo Part 4 looking characters jerking off their hair gun in order to give us the nastiest facial known to man. I mean, the production and insanity that is a battle shonen was unmatched this week. And in doing so, you can oonga boonga, just have a damn fun time. No one's going to deny that. But the thing that I've really liked about, especially the Culling Game, is how we didn't just jump in, right? We didn't just dive in raw. We took our time to build into this at the beginning. We had a lot of stuff going on with Yuji. We had a lot of stuff to learn about the rules. And I think the way they've explained the rules, and I think they've done a really smart job, is at constantly reminding us what rules have been added, what rules are active at a moment's notice, and character motivations, like why Yuta is hustling so hard. I mean, my boy, by the end of this episode, still has a long way to go. He's up to 190 points. The unfortunate thing is, like, killing people is, like, worth 5 points. So yeah, keeping them alive more often than not is probably beneficial if you think they will give you their points. But he wants 400 points. That will be enough to get all the rules that they need in place in order for things to go smoothly. This isn't just him going on a rampage because he had a fucking tummy ache and now he's in a bad mood, right? He's looking at his friends, his allies, and how much they've been suffering and pushing themselves. They are not in any situation to be involved in getting another 400 points. Maybe they'll stumble into it because they have to, but if he can get those points himself, see, that's the emotional, that's the story arc. You don't have to have some insane plot twist every episode in an episode of JJK in order for the writing to feel compelling. Sometimes a basic character motivation, like I'm trying to get these points because I'm capable of getting these points. Now, granted, by the end of the episode, does he have another 210 points in him to get? Hard to say. Hopefully some people back at the Coliseum got some points they can give us. But either way, like, that's the type of writing I like to see, because it should be more than, like, I always come back to this. It can be fun, and sometimes you don't need to have a deep reason on why characters are fighting. But you can only do that for so long before you turn into a monkey brain level show. Having character motivations on why characters are fighting or why characters stop fighting, why they team up, is very, very important. I think this season specifically has done a better job than usual, even by JJK standards, on why characters are fighting. And I honestly think the analogy of talking about food is, it's silly, but it's perfect. I mean, the concept of our boy talking about how he's had dinner and now he's like, ooh, the dessert's now arrived. And then by the end of what should have been his death, he's like, you know what? I'm full. I'm full is actually the perfect way to explain my satisfaction of part 1 of the Culling game. Now, had this been a back-to-back 2-core, would I have said, damn, I need a break, I can't come back for seconds? No, I would have been excited, eager for episode 13 next week. However, because it is a break, it's a twofold thing. On one hand, I'm very satisfied because I get time to process, maybe do a rewatch, and just have a bit of recharge time so that when I jump back into part 2, hopefully my excitement will be even more intense. However, the delay also allows for them, in theory, to make part 2 look hopefully just as good. Now, granted, the director of part 1 will not be the director of part 2. There's some rumblings on who could be the director of part 2, and it is someone who's been involved in some very good episodes. So, is it going to be a complete nosedive in quality? Probably not, unless they announce part 2 for, like, I don't know, 3 months from now. That could be a little worrisome. But if they take their time to cook, I think it's going to hopefully live up pretty close to this. May not be quite as good, but I mean, I feel like we might have struck lightning in a bottle with part 1. And even if it was 80% as good as part 1's quality for part 2, I think I'd still be a happy camper. Either way, JJK has been great. The character writing has been on point. There's been a lot of ups and downs for the emotions of these characters. I'm pretty satisfied with who got left alive and who died this season. I feel like all the characters I was getting connected to, I was like, damn, that's a really cool design or a very fun personality, kind of live. So I was like, oh, okay. No, this beats getting characters shot in the face, so I'm happy. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, I'm sure manga readers are fucking jumping for joy. I mean, you could have got the One Punch Man treatment. Instead, you got the fucking Mona Lisa treatment. Jesus. Thoughts down below, though. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course, Patreon for live reactions to all these episodes and more. Live over there. And other exclusives, because you know I got to give those video shouts to my patrons, because without them, you wouldn't get these YouTube videos at all. All right, so today we got Wayne Aldaquist, Old Man, David, Luke Brownfield, Devin Diego, Nimbus, Ashley Hawkham, Alessandro, and Corvo. So I appreciate the support. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.